Sorry, I'm late. Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the latest episode of Guest List. Today we have Punctuals. So the way we like to get this thing going is to ask you what your name is and what you do in the band. So let's go ahead and start over here.
I'm D. Lee. I play guitars.
I'm Gator. I'm the vocalist.
Mickey Diablo. I play bass.
Chris Crash, drums.
Notorious J-Rock, guitar.
All right. So now I'd like to ask you the, of course, standard follow-up question is what do you guys sound like, and what inspires your tunes?
I would say our band sounds like three cats in a mailbox.
Sounds like a bar fight, and that's what inspires me.
Bar fight. I think it sounds like the Cobb salad of rock and roll. Multi-genre hopping rock and roll. Pretty much rock and roll with a little bit of rock and roll.
It is indeed a rock and roll band.
Mm-hmm.
A notorious rock and roll band.
You said it's a little punk. Is it like punk forward or punk first?
Rock and roll first, a little punk second, and then we've got some elements of slog rock. Some slog rock in there. And I think some of it is a little bluesy, but like, I don't know. If I could use the word Ramones-ish.
You can.
We go all over.
I would allow that.
Would you do it? Please?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we'll get on that.
You. Thank you, D. Lee.
Of course. How do you feel your shows go? You've got kind of a standard setup for your shows. Can you want to maybe explain that to our audience?
Darkness and dreariness.
Yeah, there's lots of lights,
Blissness and kick your assness.
sounds,
Theater,
not much dancing yet.
but also some sweetness to it in parts. There's lots of death-related situations in the lyrics, some uplifting, more kick-your-ass stuff in there.
Drugs.
Lots of drugs.
Drugs.
More drugs than you've ever known.
That's shocking coming from a rock and roll band.
It's funny.
It's unparalleled.
Wait, yeah, you mean the opposite. But if I could, Mickey Diablo, my friend, is one of the most decorated individuals in this ensemble. And could you share where you've gotten your image?
Boy, this is something I don't really like to talk about, but because this is a special time, I will talk about it. Bangladesh. I grew up in Bangladesh. Family moved around a lot.
I don't even know where that is.
Nobody does. Nobody knows where Bangladesh is, which is why it's very inspiring. But yeah,
I actually
Bangladesh.
thought it was a made-up place.
No, that's not made up. At least the people that live there don't think it's made up, which is kind of cool.
Great.
But yeah, Bangladesh. I grew up there. We moved around a lot. Played a lot of Bangladeshi soccer. Played a lot of Bangladeshi darts. Played a lot of Bangladeshi field games.
How does that differ from, sports played anywhere else? Like, what's the difference between Bangladesh darts and regular darts? Is there like different numbers on the board, or are there different rules?
Well, it's played in Bangladesh mostly.
Okay,
So
is that
that's
the only
that's mostly the big thing. But it's very inspiring, very influencing, and it's one of the things that I try to bring to the music as well too.
Does it have its own scale, like a Bangladesh scale that you?
Probably. I don't actually know. I've never paid too close of attention to that. Maybe.
Less of a bullseye, more of a camel's eye.
Okay.
I've never been to Bangladesh, so I wouldn't know.
You're right. So, what is the perfect run time for a punk show?
One set or the entire show?
Yes.
25 minutes
25 minutes total.
to 3 hours.
To 3 hours, okay.
Preferably 25 minutes.
Okay, so more on the shorter side than not.
Depends how many songs you have. Is it short if you play 100 songs in 25 minutes?
Do you think that in punk rock it actually matters how long the songs are, or is that important to the music and to the quotient of songs that you would end up playing?
I think usually the songs are only the length they need to be,
Mm-hmm.
and then if it needs to go longer, play it longer.
We were born in the 60s, 70s, most of us, and
Clearly.
we've had this album in our back pocket for about 27 years, and we just now decided to release it. Back then we were way ahead of the curve. You know, you can check out some of the song titles, you know, for this soundtrack to a movie we made. It's basically a concept album, and yeah, it's just Bitches Are Killing Me, and people weren't talking like that, you know.
Okay. Yeah, let's talk about your album. I've got it here. It I guess has already been released. Is this a pre-release?
Yeah, it just released January 1st.
January 1st of 2025, the year of our Lord. Yeah, and it says it is a soundtrack
Maybe yours.
to Better Never Than Late, the original motion picture soundtrack, music by the Punctuals. It looks like there are exactly 9 songs on this. Do you want to maybe talk about the idea behind it and what the full runtime is?
I don't really want to, but I will. So
You don't have to.
I'll do anything you want.
The next time I need my lawn mowed, I'll call up.
Sure, man, I'll bring the scissors.
Great.
So, as far as the album is concerned, we had to shorten 3 hours and like 45 minutes. And then there's maybe 9 songs on it, but now that there's this thing called streaming, you can find 2 extra songs on most streaming services. And those songs are The Hassle and Bitches Are Killing Me that you won't find on this album.
Why did you just decide to leave that off of the album and then put something with that title on the internet instead?
Less recording space on the record makes it sound better.
All right. That sounds great.
And yeah, it's the imagery was shot by the wifey of Chris Crash,
Mm-hmm.
and the front cover. So I, give some
Here
love.
it is.
Give some love to Z. And then the back cover represents the live performing aspect of our thing, and the movie is yet to come out.
Okay.
We've been working on it for 27 years, so
Great. I can't wait to see it. Hopefully it shows in a theater near you.
yeah, we need people to buy these records before listening to streaming because it's only fucking fair.
All
No
right.
pressure.
Great. Well, I hope you make millions of dollars off of this thing. So
20 would be fine.
$20.
Yeah,
All
that'd
right.
be fine.
Money's great.
Hopefully you're selling these records for that.
7 more in the hopper, by the way. We got 7 more albums.
Got it.
They should all come out next year.
Do you guys go to the grocery store with this get up on?
What get up?
Okay.
Born this way, bro. Don't be maskist.
What do you think the state of punk is in 2025?
Humor.
Humor?
I think it's all just humor. None of it's serious.
Got it. Any other thoughts?
Oh. Yeah, Chris Crash doesn't say very much, so I'll speak for Chris Crash and Chris Crash's voice.
You know, every once in a while, I scratch my head and think I could be in any other band. But instead, I'm with you, son of a bitches. And I hope you burn in hell. And I love you.
Is that really how you sound?
Seems like it.
Have you thought about using any other instruments besides guitars?
Skin flute?
Is that a woodwind or a percussion?
Yeah, both.
It's both. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. So I noticed you guys have a countdown on stage sometimes. What does that indicate? Is that like the length of your set? Is that to like ease any anxiety from
We've always been on time for every
gotta
gig
be on
we've ever
time.
had.
It's got to be on time.
Yeah.
You're serious about that.
Don't you?
Late is a 4-letter word.
Okay.
Don't come if you're gonna be late, man.
All right.
Oh my God! Remember the cable guy?
The
Oh
movie?
no, man. Oh, me and D Lee, we were kids, and the cable man. We were trying to watch the little TV,
Mm-hmm.
and we were waiting for our show. We were just kids, man. Getting traumatized just talking about it again.
He was 5 minutes late.
I like to ask this question every once in a while, but if all of you had a military rank in the band, what would it be?
Private?
Cook.
The galleyman.
Gunner?
Machete wielding sergeant.
Do you actually wield a machete on stage?
Yes, I do, and a grinder, and a blowtorch, and an anvil with the hammer.
Hmm. What's the anvil for? Are you forging something?
It's percussion.
It's percussion. Got it.
Percussive.
Of course. Sorry about that.
It's always on time.
All right. Are there any other props that you use on stage that aren't necessarily making noise?
Mickey Diablo.
He's a prop.
So who is the star of this film? Is there any one singular protagonist that you'd like to talk about?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
There's been some discussion about the protagonist in this movie, and I think deep down inside, ultimately it's the music is the protagonist, and it carries the symbolic aspect of it. If I can speak schematically, there's a art and some kind of relevance to the etchings of music that allow us to be what we've always wanted to be, and it's fairly easy to do when you tap into the sound and you have a new beginning every note, and a new separation from reality, which is our main goal. There's a lot of
Cool.
disgusting out there.
None of us really know what protagonist means.
Okay. Cool.
Not at all.
That's fine. It's a word I made up.
Protagonism.
And then is there any benefit to the anonymity of your outfits, or is it some sort of hindrance when you're?
It makes it easier to rob a bank.
Okay. Is it because the shows don't pay enough?
The streaming doesn't pay enough.
Streaming doesn't pay enough. Okay, that's the purpose. So if you're listening, understand that streaming causes musicians to turn into hardened criminals. So
100.
So take that into consideration the next time you fire up Spotify or Tidal or whatever service you end up using.
I will add to it by saying we met like this. I still don't know what any of them really look like underneath, but I could tell you from my side that it's easier for people to hear the music when they're not looking at all this underneath, because it's so distracting.
Okay.
At least for me.
Face for radio.
Faces for radio. Perfect.
100.
Yeah, that's a great explanation.
It's all yours, buddy.
Alrighty, and then in closing, given that you wear this getup 24/7, does it ever start to smell like? Do you just have to like sort of finagle brushing your teeth really well before going on stage, or?
I don't remember ever taking this off. I just shower this way.
Okay.
I just take a little longer to dry.
Okay. Great. If there's anything else you'd like to say to your audience, I would say speak your piece now.
We're punctuals. Better never than late.
Better
never than late.
Better never than late.
Better never than late.
Better never than late.
All right, thank you. This has been Guest List, and this has been the Punctuals. We'll talk to you next time. Thank you.